keys to success is not to pursue success. The key to true success is to seek to become a person of value and to fulfill your purpose. And I hope you're getting what I'm saying. You must not seek success. You must seek to become a person of value, and you must understand and seek what your purpose is. When you understand and seek your purpose and you become a person of value, then the other things that come with what we call success are automatically drawn to you like you are a magnet. But what tends to happen many times, we seek those other things. We seek the money, we seek the houses, we seek the reputation, we seek all those things. But we do not understand that purpose and value is what draws those things. Successful leadership is always other-centered. I need us to be clear that you cannot operate in a true form, and I'm going to use that word quite often today, true leadership. You cannot operate in true leadership without understanding that success is always other-centered. You have to be thinking from the other person's perspective, the other person's benefit, the other person, what you're trying to impart. Operating in and fulfilling your purpose is what success looks like. Life's greatest failure, you guys, is to be successful in the wrong assignment and to live your whole life and not do what you were born to be and do what you were born to do. That's life's greatest failure. To lead is to inspire. That is what leading is all about. It's not about having followers. A lot of times we think, well, I'm not a leader if I don't have followers. If you're not inspiring, if you're not influencing, you are not a leader. That's how you can gauge if you're not operating in your ability to be a leader. So to lead is to inspire and to influence. The key to influence is this: specialization. The key to influence is specialization. Your gift is your key to influence. If you don't influence, you will always be influenced. See, let me say this, and I think this is at least as powerful to me. If you find your gift, you refined your gift, and then they'll find you. You have to find your gift, you refined your gift, and they will find you. And whatever they may be the person at your job that's in a position to open a door for you. It may be opportunity to start a business or something else. That will be drawn to you when you allow yourself, one, to find your giftings, which is ultimately your purpose. When you find your gifting and your purpose, then you operate in a position where you refined it. Then those things will be drawn to you where they will find you. Your job, in most cases, you guys, in some cases it may not be, but in most cases, your job is where they pay you to be refined in your gifting. So many of us, our jobs is our perfect opportunity to be refined. Many times, if you look carefully at what you're doing in your job is really only sharpening what needs to be sharpened for what your future looks like. And if you take advantage of this time and sharpen and allow yourself to be refined, you won't find yourself in your next unqualified and not ready. And so what happens, a lot of us get to our next and we're not ready because we didn't take advantage of our now. We didn't take advantage of our now. We wasn't willing to come early and stay late. We wasn't willing to invest in ourselves and others. We wasn't willing to go and get education or take that next step or get another certification or stand for a training that you didn't have to be in, that wasn't mandated. You wasn't willing to do those things, which are opportunities to be refined. Now an opportunity and a door opens for you, and you're making decisions based on old stuff, and the world is moving past you. And now you are outdated. Your desire, your suggestions, and your things that you want to offer are now obsolete. So it's so important to understand that point. Value equals wealth. Value equals wealth. You are worth what you are valued. You are worth what you are valued. You become valuable by specializing. When I keep saying specialization and specializing, what I mean by that is, have you found an area that you are become a master at, a master teacher in that particular area? Have you found an area that you have sharpened your eye? You studied it personally, you studied it educationally, you've done the things practically. Have you done it to where now people are willing to pay you for what you know, not so much what you do? When you have done that, you have become a specialist in a particular area. And that is what brings value to you, and that is what positions you for your next. That is what makes people want to make doors open for you, because now you have something that they can't offer, and they saw your specialty. And because they saw and recognized your specialty, they say, I need that. And because I need that, doors will open for you. Remember, the foundation of this talk today is, how do I position myself for my next? To become successful, you must, one, you got to pursue ideas, you got to create a vision, and you got to develop a plan. You got to pursue ideas, create a vision, and develop a plan. Then you have to work your butt off to fulfill your purpose. And last but not least, you have to attach faith to it. Go through those again. Pursue ideas, create a vision, develop a plan, work, and then attach faith, because destiny decisions, you guys, require faith. Anything that you have that's a part of your future destiny, those things are going to require a decision. But that decision is going to be from a position of faith. When you have a destiny decision you have to make, you must understand that it's going to require faith. No one that has ever reached any levels of great success has not made a destiny decision where they did not have all the answers, did not have all the ducks in a row, wasn't able to answer how they're going to act and how this is going to happen, but they knew it was what they needed to do at that time and that season in their life, so they took the leap. And that's why I say destiny decisions require faith. So as we are positioning ourselves for our next, you have to start building your faith level up, that when it's time for you to step into your next, that you must know that you're not going to have everything lined up. If you're waiting for everything to be lined up, if you're waiting for everything to be perfect in your life, then you're already fooling yourself. If you pursue and achieve these things, such as power, influence, and favor, and money, all those things will be attracted to you if you pursue the things I just mentioned about the ideas, the vision, and developing a plan. They will be attracted. People, there's different type of people. Poor people talk about money. Rich people talk about things. Wealthy people talk about ideas. Which one do you want to be? That's what we have to decide. Which one am I? Where am I this season? Where do I want to be as the season I go? This is a real coaching point. Whether it's work related or not, that is this. Every man and every woman needs a minimum of 3 things in their life to be in place. You need cash, you need credit, and you need a specialty. You need cash, you need credit, and you need a specialty. You need a trade or specialization. Person can have a doctor, be a medical doctor, but when they become a specialist in delivering babies, they have a specialty as a particular type of doctor. So their wealth and their worth changes. When you become a mental health specialist and you get a degree in that area, you may have a degree that's general, but when you specialize in a particular area where you deal with certain disorders, you have a specialty. When you are a leadership coach, but you specialize in teaching leaders and how to be leaders, you have a specialty. When you specialize, it draws things to you like money. It draws things to you like influence and power and favor. So you have to have cash, you have to have credit, and you have to have a specialty. On this journey to achieving success and leadership, we must remember a few things. Leadership and success are connected to action. We can't just talk about it. Leadership and success are always connected to action. You have to be ready to move when it's your time to move. You must remove distractions. And remember, sometimes distractions comes in the form of people, places, and things. Sometimes that distraction could be family. You have to be able to remove distractions when you have put those blinders on and said that success and leadership is my goal. You must guard your mind and watch your mouth. This is important, especially when you got people that are subordinates to you, and when you are leading others and influencing and inspiring others. You have to remember to guard your mind and watch your mouth. What you say matters, and how you say it matters. What you allow to stay in your mind about what people are saying and what people are thinking matters, because ultimately it influences what you do and what you say. So you have to guard your mind and watch your mouth. This is how you position yourself, because so you can't be at the water cooler and allow people to throw things into your mind. And then now you're allowing those unproductive things in your mind. Now it affects how you treat your supervisor. It affects how you treat the service, the people that you're serving, and what you're trying to create as a product. It affects those things. So you have to be able to cut those things loose. That's why you have to not allow distractions. One of the most important lessons you must learn as you take this journey towards successful life is that your thoughts and words are a magnet to your reality. Your thoughts and your words are a magnet to your reality. Whatever you consistently sit out in thought and word and deed will come back to you with a level of accuracy that you cannot believe. I'm going to go now. I'm going to change gears slightly. What is true leadership? What is true leadership? I must talk about what is not versus what it is. It is not control, but it is service. True leadership is not control. You're not operating in a form of leadership when you say, I control everything. These my people, bodies, and you tell them what to do and they do this. That's not true leadership. True leadership is about service, not control. It's not about power. It's about empowerment. What are you empowering someone else to do? You may or may not be in a position to give them a new title, but you can give them responsibilities. You can give them opportunities to show their skill set and their giftings, which is empowering them. So when you operate in true leadership, it's not about power, it's about empowerment. True leadership is not about manipulation. It ain't about tricking somebody into doing what you want them to do. It's about inspiration. This is called what I believe is the highest form of leadership. That is inspiration. That's the highest form of leadership. Are you inspired by that person or those people? And true leadership is not about finding people to follow you. It's about you discovering your purpose and you pursuing it. There comes a cost though. There's a cost with this leadership thing. And there's a price that we all must be willing to pay if we're going to move forward to our next and walk in this level of excellence in leadership. You got to be willing to understand that one of the costs or prices you have to pay is self-sacrifice. You got to be willing to sacrifice time, treasures, and pleasures. You have to be willing to sacrifice time, treasures, and pleasures. Certain things that you have been used to doing for your pleasures, you may have to put to the side for a minute. There's certain treasures that you might have been used to purchasing. You may have to say, I can't get that for 6 months to a year. There's certain things that with your time, you won't have to sacrifice for the sake of reaching wherever you're supposed to be going. That's the price we have to pay. Another price is you got to understand rejection comes with this thing. Not being accepted or being misunderstood or misjudged. That comes with it. That's what criticism is, another price. Loneliness. If you feel a level of loneliness as you're progressing, actually it's a signal that you're moving in the right direction, because we must dare to stand alone. You got to be willing for a season where people don't understand you. and people are not willing to get on board with you only because they aren't willing to take those risks that we talked about. Some of the other things, relationships, you got to demand. There's a level of demand on your family and friends. So that's a price you have to pay. Then we have I'm going to go over 8 steps to accomplishing your dreams and your purpose. 8 steps. The first one you must understand is dream, struggle, and victory. That's the first step. That's a pattern of life. You're going to have a dream. There comes a struggle following that dream. And then that ultimately you have a level of victory if you continue and you do not allow the struggle to allow you to quit. Dream, struggle, victory. What is your dream? Shape it, write it down, imagine it, and have an imagination. Understand that what comes next is the struggle. The struggle could easily be just going back to school. The dream is to get a certain degree so you can have a certain opportunity to start a business or to get a new position. That's your dream. The struggle is I got to go back to school, which means now I got to find daycare, which means now I got to work my 8 hours and go to school, staying up late, getting up early. That's the struggle. But the victory is I get the degree, I get the certification, and now I'm able to move into the position that I want to. That's just an example of how it looks. And then that thing is like a circle. It happens over and over again. Dream, struggle, victory. You got to be willing to see it, speak it, write it, and then work it. You have to be willing to see it with your imagination. Many times we do jobs and we lose that first part. We lose the imagination part, which is a part of what success is all about in leadership. What can I see the future being, personally and professionally? What is the imagination of what it can and what I hope it will look like? You have to see it. Then you have to put words behind it to train your thinking and to train the thinking of those around you. And then you have to write it down. This is a part a lot of us do not do. We have things in our mind, but we don't have a goal sheet that we go and refer back to. This is what I want to accomplish. This is the timeline that I want to accomplish. These are the steps that I got to take to accomplish that goal. Write it down, and then you got to work your plan. You got to see it, you got to speak it, you got to write it, and then you have to work it. That's how you position yourself for your next. If you're hoping and waiting for somebody else to see it for you and to speak it over you and do all the other necessary things for you because you're a good person, you're sadly mistaken. If you can conceive it, I think we all have heard this. If you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. There's a lot of truth to that, you guys. There's a lot of truth to that. Someone who has a dream only, they really, without a plan, a dream is merely a wish if you don't have a plan. A dream is merely a wish if you don't have a plan. What is your plan? And I talked about destiny decisions require faith. You got to understand that you will never become who you're supposed to be without a victory. And there is never a victory without a battle. Some of us don't want to deal with the fight, but you're going to have a fight. And that fight looks different in every situation, but you have to be willing to fight. So you just got to go ahead and fight, but understand that there is a victory. Winning a battle without a spoil is just a fight. So what I want you to do is that you understand that I'm not just fighting to be fighting. I'm fighting because I know I'm going to leave with something. I'm going to leave with a level of influence. I'm going to leave with a level of the goals that I have accomplished. I'm going to leave that I changed lives. That's the outcome of the fight. You must become a person of value. I can't say that enough today. Invest in yourself, you guys. And when I say this to you, I'm saying it to myself as well. We have to invest in ourselves. You have to invest in other people. So if you invest in yourself and people, you will be paid based on what you have invested. Worry not that no one knows who you are. Seek to be worth knowing. And so, because sometimes we feel like, well, this person get all the recognition. This person has an idea and people tend to jump on it. Worry not about getting recognition or being known. Seek to be worth being known. Do you know enough? Do you have enough specialization in an area to where you have such value that people will look you up. See, the spotlight, beware of always being in the spotlight because it can blind you. Just think about it in the natural. You have a light in your eye, you can't see right away. The spotlight can blind you, but it also draws flies. So that means when you get the spotlight, there's positive things that come with it, but there's some other challenging things that come with being in the spotlight. Flies, people wanting to take you down, people wanting to nag at you, people want to get the recognition from you. So the same amount of people you can help is the same amount of people you can hurt. That is so important as you continue to grow and position yourself for whatever your next is going to be. And another one is controlling your time and change. Time and change, I believe, is the most powerful and consistent entity on the earth. Time and change. Whoever controls time and manages time, they control people's experience in life. So how are you controlling? You can do that. You can control time, and you can control time and change with one thing, and that's a plan. When you have a plan and you're working your plan, you now have an influence and an ability to control time and to control change. What tends to happen is organizations have a plan. So they always tend to control time and change in our individual lives. So every job that I've ever had always had a vision statement, always had a mission statement, always had a plan of action of where they wanted to go, which ultimately affected what time I came to work, what time I got off, how much I can purchase, where I could go on vacation. They controlled my time and they controlled my change in life because they had a plan and I submitted to it. So whoever has put a plan together has the ability to control time and change, not only in their individual life, but in others' lives who do not do the same. That's a very vital moment that I hope that someone gets. If you don't control your time and change with a plan, somebody else will. Somebody else will. They're looking at you now, gleaning on how they can control your time and control the change in your life. Because they will limit what vacation you take, what house you buy, what you do for your free time, because you did not have a plan. The leadership journey. I believe the greatest act of leadership is mentoring, which is why this academy and this program is being developed. If you are not finding or have found and submitted to a mentor, please look for one. And it doesn't always have to be someone physically that you can get to. It can be someone that you read about and you look at their principles and look at their philosophy, and you allow their books and their tapes to mentor you. But it doesn't hurt, and it actually is even better when you can find someone that you can model after in real face-to-face time. That's important. When you give people meaning, they will give you their authority and influence. So if you are a manager and you're on this call, what meaning are you giving those that you supervise and lead? How are you giving them something that says, I have meaning, I have value? When you give them that and you help them see that you see them as that, they'll then turn around and give you their authority and give you their influence, because they are looking for someone to see the value in them. Just think about when somebody recognizes good in you, how you respond to that person. You'll come work for them when others won't work for them. You'll work late when they don't ask you to work late, because they have shown you that they see a value in you. The same will happen with others that you inspire and that you lead if you do the same. That's a key point. The first act of true leadership is to identify your replacement and begin mentoring them. That's the first act of anyone in true leadership that they should be considering. Who could potentially be my replacement? And what am I doing to position and help them learn the skills, practice the whatever it needs to be practiced, so that if and when that opportunity comes, they're ready. You have to have successors already lined up. And when the opportunity comes, they will step into it if they're ready. But if you're not preparing your successors, then you basically you are a worthless leader. Because how I know you are a real leader is what did you leave behind and who was able to grow because of it. See, true leaders measure their success by diminishing their dependency of their followers. That's something that we have to really remember, that when you, and I know a lot of us in different fields of work, we are considered essential personnel. So we have to be there for things to work. We have to come whether it's snow, rain, or whatever. But what you really want to do is you really want to be where you're not essential in the sense of having to be there. What have I done that if I take a vacation, things do not fall apart? If I decide to move to another thing, can someone step in because I've imparted what I needed to impart them, and they can not only maintain, but hopefully they can take it to the next level. So the goal of true leadership is to transform followers into leaders and leaders into change agents. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's our motto for this particular program. That's what I believe. Leadership is not a sprint, but it's a marathon. This is what leaders need to understand. You know, the greatest enemy of progress is your last success. And so what happens, we'll have, and I've done this in my life, we'll do things and we've done really well at it. And we've had successes. And we're living our next based on our last success. And there's nothing wrong with using those things to encourage yourself and hopefully use it as part of your portfolio to open a door. But that can easily become an enemy. Your last success can become your hindrance to your progression, because now you're only thinking from the past. Remember, we want to teach you how to lead from the future, not lead from the past. So problem solvers always tend to have three things: favor, financial stability, and followers. Favor, financial stability, and followers. So what are you solving in your area at home? What are you solving in your areas at work, relationship-wise? When you find problems and you solve them, it brings value to you, and it brings favor, financial stability, and it brings followers. So you are a successful leader when your followers can become a leader. That's how you know if you've been a successful leader. If your followers can become a leader. I'm going to cover a few more things, but I do want to leave an opportunity that if anybody have any questions or comments that you would like us to speak on, I want to leave a few minutes for that. So and we will have other sessions. So I have much more that I could talk about, but to be honest, I could focus on one or two things that really could be the lesson for each session. But I wanted today to be an opportunity to give you a global picture of what this program is about and what I want to offer to you and those that you supervise. And hopefully we'll leave this session and you'll speak in a positive light about it and say, man, whenever we have another opportunity, we need to be on that line, because all that value that was offered, man, we could benefit from that. At least that's my desire. That's my goal. So I'll go over a couple other things and then we'll end for today. I'm going to go over what leadership and character is. Character. You cannot lead who you attack. That is important. You cannot lead who you attack. The same road that builds character is the road that reveals your character. Leadership is born when you stop tolerating certain things. So leadership is born when toleration ends. Whatever you tolerate, you won't change. So that's in your day-to-day work. I've been a team leader. Whatever you continue to tolerate, you can't change it. You have to decide what I'm not going to tolerate any longer. Then change will come. It's a decision. And that falls in all aspects of personal and professional. Never ask a person to believe in something that you're not willing to die for. That's something you got to understand. The longest way to success is the shortcut. I can't say that one enough. The longest way to success is the shortcut. And what you honor and respect will come to you. So how do I know what you honor and what you respect? is I look at where you are. And how do you know? Look at where you are. That would dictate, one, what you honor and respect and who you have listened to. Who you have listened to has a great influence on where you will be tomorrow. Who you accept what they say, whoever it is that you accept their opinions and their principles, they have a direct influence on what your future is. Who you have decided that I'm not going to listen to. So let's say I'm saying these things. Hopefully these things fit. I believe they're principles and they are true whether I say it or somebody else say it. But because you have decided, if you have chose not to listen to me, then that would now directly affect where your future is, because you didn't accept me and the person that was giving it, even though I was given the right thing. So it's important to know who you decide to listen to. That's so important. And we're going to close on this. I talked earlier about having a vision statement, a philosophy. I believe that every successful person, every business, every faith, every family should have a mission statement or a philosophy that they keep, that keeps them aligned with their purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share a part of me and a part of my household. My personal family philosophy, I had one for myself, but then when I got married, me and my wife looked at it, we reshaped it just a little bit, and now it's our family philosophy, our family vision and mission statement. So I'm going to share it with you. We are a blessing in hundreds of thousands of people's lives, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, by what we preach, teach, and how we live. We live lives of high moral character, integrity, and servanthood. We are open to love, we reject fear, and we confront obstacles. We are proactive and not reactive in every area of our lives. We live balanced lives, making time for God, family, ministry, business, and friends. We always allow God to order our steps. Our relationship with God is second to none. We receive wisdom, gain knowledge, and get understanding. That is the Claude and the Japheth Claude's personal philosophy and mission. So what I encourage and hopefully inspire you, you don't have to make it like mine, of course, but find what your purpose is. Create a philosophy and a mission statement that you're saying that this is what we and I live by. This is my foundation. My methods of how I get to somewhere may change, but my vision does not change. My mission does not change. If your mission doesn't, your mission should never change, but you can develop other things. And then every person should decide what they want to gain and impart during your lifetime. In your lifetime, what is it that I want to gain? And what is it that I want to impart? For me, I want to gain wisdom, faith. I want to impart these things as well. Wisdom, faith, hope, love, wealth, and peace. Simple. Faith, wisdom, hope, love, wealth, and peace. If I can die knowing that I have gained those things and I have imparted those things, I believe I've lived a successful life and I've accomplished my purpose, and I now have a legacy that will outlive me. That's my personal mission and goal that I want to impart. I hope that something that I said today has been helpful to you guys. I want you to leave with this. Always remember, there's enough room in life for everyone to blossom. Let me say that again. There's enough room in life. You may say not in this job or not in this career, but I'm telling you, there's enough room in life for everyone to blossom. Don't be jealous of people during their winning season. We don't know what they lost during their losing season. Let me say that again. Don't be jealous. Don't become disgruntled. Don't become feeling like your time is not going to ever come when somebody else has their winning season, because you don't know what their losing season was. And the same is going to happen when it's your turn. Lastly, if you are nourished with wisdom, informed by a coach, and supported by a sponsor, you can grow and blossom where you are planted. If you are nourished with wisdom, influenced by a coach or informed by a coach, and supported by a sponsor, you can grow and blossom where you are planted. The title today is Positioning Yourself for Your Next. Our underlying theme of this whole program is blooming where you are planted. I hope that something was said, something was taught that will help you understand how to position yourself better. Me personally, as far as you don't understand that story, I'll give you this, because what happens when you don't celebrate other people in their winning season, you don't know what they lost. I personal, just give a level lip. I actually came from a position where I had multiple degrees, became an executive in not only one company but also in the Christian world, in the spiritual world, executive in that. Had multiple houses. Me and my wife was traveling all over the country and in some parts of the world, and we lost almost everything that we had. Almost everything that we had: the houses, the ability to travel, to where I was eating bread sandwiches, to the prestige that came with my titles, all that. So when a winning season comes in my life, if I hadn't shared that story, people don't know that there was a time when he couldn't feed his house. There was a time when he had to walk, and things that he had pride in owning was taken away from him because of just different decisions that was made. So just like people wouldn't know my story, they don't know yours. So when you get into your winning season, you deserve your winning season because you had a losing season. You had a season where things didn't line up always like you wanted them to. And so I hope that all of you guys reach your potential, reach your purpose. I pray and hope that I have an influence to help you get there. And that is, I'm not basing my success based on holding you back, because my goal of success is how I help you reach yours. So thank you for taking the time and listening to me today. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box, or ask Miss Tammy if she wants to open the mic or not. But we have a couple more minutes before we close out.
Thank you so very much. This is a great session. At this time, if there's anyone that has any questions, whether you want to say it verbally or in the chat to Dr. Claude, please move ahead and do so. It sounds like we are good, Dr. Claude. We definitely appreciate you for this time and for this coaching session. A lot of feedback that comes in. If you all continue to chat, we will be able to see all of the feedback that is provided. You also have Dr. Claude's email address if you have any other questions. This has been a great afternoon session. We appreciate you, Dr. Claude, with this coaching.